13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8.
It says
7.
live on me.
Oh.
Let me see. Yeah, it's live here. YouTube's got a little delay. Yeah, it's going live everywhere.
Oh, I went away.
Okay,
I came back.
Yeah, yours blinks a little bit, but let me invite.
It's a little what?
Invite.
Oh.
I'm just inviting everyone I know that's part of the group.
So anyways, like I said, I went up to the little card shop, check and see if I can find something to put one of those canvases in. I think that 360 point might be the go, but may require some sanding or something just because the edges are a little bulky.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm not incredibly prepared. I still haven't got my paints together.
I sent you a picture. I'll give a couple minutes to see if who hops on at the beginning. Oh, there's Tommy.
Oh.
The new overlord. I made a makeshift stay wet palette. Let's see how that works out of.
Yeah, you sent me the picture. I wasn't. Let's see. Here we go. Comments on. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Apparently you're watching.
Tommy. Yeah, so is Tommy. Oh, there's Matt.
Nice. So, anyways, so this is kind of a little bit of a dick move, but here's the card that I'm working on. So I'm doing a makeshift triple panel.
Makeshift triple panel.
Yeah, it's basically it's cardstock that I cut out to be the size of a triple panel.
Oh, okay. So you don't have three.
No, it's not like a trifold or something like that.
Right.
So
that looks good.
Yeah.
You able to get this done in an hour and a half?
Oh, well, we're gonna find out. The only thing I got going for me is at least he's basically one color.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. So I got a couple people. We'll be on for, like I said, at least an hour. I'm good for 2 hours easy.
Yes.
All my devices are charged, so unless there's like power outages or something, we're good to go.
Yeah, and that is until crystal ball hits you.
Yeah, basically. So yeah. Oh, you want to get started?
Yeah.
We didn't really plan like conversation topics or anything.
No. It's kind of a free for all.
Yeah.
So
we see as more people join in, I'm sure there'll be some chatter.
Yeah, they'll generally
better
pop in, start some discussion. Whoops.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the wrong screen. Oh, look at that. Hang on a second. We have a special guest star.
Ooh.
There we go. Mr. Ian Taylor is.
How you doing?
What's up, bud?
Good, you?
Hey, happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us.
I feel unprepared. I don't have a beverage. Stand by.
I thought this was dubbed drink and draw. Have I been missold?
No. Well, I always.
Hang on. I'll be dipping in a little bit of.
Bushmills.
Bushmills.
I like. I'm gonna have a sip. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Hmm.
Well, thanks for joining us, Ian.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. So, what's on the menu this evening, lads? What you got there? What are you drawing?
Scroll girl.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Either.
yeah. I'm doing I'm gonna try and do a man thing here.
Oh, said
So,
the actress to the bishop.
what's that?
Said the actress to the bishop.
I'm sorry, what?
I was being smutty.
Oh, yeah, not that man thing.
Oh,
The other man thing.
The other man thing, Marvel man thing, the marvelous man thing.
Matt Fuller is drinking the blood of virgins. Oh, I was asking if Ian's drinking the blood of virgins.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
And I see we have somebody else who's trying to join the video, but is having some technical issues. So I'll just keep an eye on that and see if he's having any luck. So, Ian, anything you can tell us about the episode tomorrow?
It's 90 minutes. We've recorded a special introduction for it. And what else can I tell you? It's really good.
It's really good. Okay.
There will be,
That's narrowing it down.
there will be a video. There will be an edited video of it on YouTube on Saturday, just with some highlights on our YouTube channel.
Cool.
Excellent. We'll check that out.
Yeah, so I'm just really excited to see people's reactions to it, and yeah, it's just a really good experience doing it. So hopefully people will dig it.
Yeah, looking forward to it, my friend. Got Gordon Wells is in the chat, but he's on the YouTube feed.
Oh, no. That guy's a beast.
Oh, yeah, definitely to get him on
I love his stuff.
the chat.
Well, Gordon needs to come on the podcast as soon as we can arrange it, because he was waiting in the wings on the kind of the call-in show that we did.
Right.
And it all got a bit much with the number of people in there. So and we were just wrapping up, so he didn't manage to jump on, unfortunately. But we'll do one of those again.
Yeah, the infamous Florida project.
Oh yeah,
That's the one.
Everyone either has lived in Florida, or went to school in Florida, or has buried bodies in Florida,
Or has heard of Florida.
Yeah,
Seen it on the map.
Just gone on spring break in Florida.
Spring break. Is that the thing where lots of American students get drunk and take their clothes off?
Pretty much.
Good.
Yeah,
We have that called the Houses of Parliament.
The what?
We have that here. It's called the Houses of Parliament.
Oh. Okay, let's not get political, Ian.
Yeah. Yeah. Florida, I don't know.
Very excited about Florida.
Well, they got hammered pretty good this week with the tropical storm there.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, up in the Redneck Riviera area, along with Louisiana and Mississippi and stuff. And we're actually kind of getting the remnants of that storm that's kind of just blowing right up the right up through the US here. We had some pretty good rainstorms and wind yesterday. I had just finished cutting the grass like right before the rain started.
And where are you again?
Chicago area.
Chicago area. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off.
You didn't plan this out, did you?
No, absolutely not.
I believe in you.
Yeah, you know what? I'll Forrest Gump my way through it for sure. But
Leon Gonzalez says hi. He's on the Facebook stream.
what's up, dude?
Who else do we have? Oh, Packet's here now. Maybe he's gone by now. Nobody acknowledged him. But you have some Bianchis to collect?
Yeah, he's taking time out from his
From his hoarding?
So what's he drawing in the middle there, Dre?
Sorry?
What's he drawing in the middle?
Venom.
Ah, good. So I'm looking at a tiny phone screen here. So
Yeah, no worries. Yeah,
my eyes aren't what they used to be.
ain't that the truth?
Mhm.
Was it last live stream or whatever? I was just sitting here. I was struggling working on doing another quick painting, which was kind of, I might have gotten a little cocky by trying to do this because I actually pulled one off the last live stream I did. But the let's see, now I went so I was struggling with it and couldn't figure out what the heck was wrong, and then I realized I wasn't wearing readers. So it's like, why can't I see what the heck I'm drawing? Now, mind you, I was probably about a 6-pack in at the time, but that could have had something to do with it.
Drinking and drawing.
Gordon, I dropped the link to the Facebook stream in the comments. Hopefully it goes through if you want to hop on there.
Ooh.
Because you're on YouTube.
I admire the fact that you're managing to drive this thing and create a piece of artwork at the same time, Dre.
Thank you, but as a result, there's no way this is getting done in this session. Like 15 minutes in, and I painted the shoulder. Yeah. So everyone excited for Marvel anime?
It looks
I
interesting.
think it's going to be a great set. We did a we've not released it yet. It'll be possibly next week or the week after. We've done a preview episode about it where we talk about it. So,
Oh, right on.
yeah, looking forward to that set actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz around it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of people excited, but it's an original art set, and Peach is pretty popular at the moment. Peach Momoko. She's got a good rep.
Yeah.
And there's just some really cool things they've done with the set.
Oh, so you've gotten a little sneak peek?
Only it's out there. It's on Cardboard Connection and on a couple of other sites. So Upper Deck have released their kind of package of images, preview images of all the different inserts and things.
Oh, okay, but you didn't get to see anything extra.
No. Only what's in the public domain.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not that connected.
Not yet. We're working on it.
Hurry up, Ian.
Well, yeah, I can't say anything at the moment, but we're working on it.
Ooh.
Exciting.
Phone Sat, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, says hi. He just joined on Facebook as well.
Hey, bonjour, monsieur. I'm pausing, expecting him to answer, but of course he can't.
Yeah.
So.
Waiting.
Yeah, waiting. I tell
Why isn't
you
he
what,
responding?
say again, Dre.
So why is he not responding? Yeah, I'm just being sarcastic because he can't respond. So I got to say again, I've been futzing around with StreamYard. It's definitely something you guys should take a look at. I
Yeah,
think you mentioned that you already did.
yeah, we have at the moment we just haven't got the dollar to pay for it. But we the Hobby Hotline sports podcast use it, and it looks pretty good. It's actually quite interesting seeing how it works from this end. Yeah, it's definitely on our radar to do. Although when I did live video on Facebook a few weeks back, I've seen they've added an option now where you can add people into that video.
Right.
So we might try and just do it on the Facebook page for the podcast. Might just try and do a live show,
Ooh, that could be cool.
which would be pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. What I'm liking so far with this thing is that you can multi-stream. So, on the paid version, so it's running on Facebook and YouTube. And I tested it yesterday morning and it worked fine when I did the sketch for this. So far, it's running well. It's just kind of more channels. I think you got to go to the premium to cast to even more channels, like if you do Twitch or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the more you pay, you get options like you can add your own logo onto it. You can be able to download it afterwards as a recording.
Yeah.
Which you don't get on the free version. So it's
Well, you do for the first 7 days on the free version.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of they're giving you more features to test out. But I mean, it saves it to YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're streaming, so it's there. Well, I mean, if you're gonna do a live video and then cut that into a podcast, you definitely want to download the audio stream.
Yeah. What I mean, when we use Skype, of course, we just have to download the video and then rip the audio to WAV. What we have to do for that, and then Norin works his magic.
The magic touch.
Yeah, he's a beast on the audio.
Glorious leader, just is watching now.
What, Norin?
No, Kim Jong Dun.
Oh.
Jonathan Dunn's on, and he forgot what time zone he's in.
Oh.
We've all done it.
Yeah.
If that's for me, I'm not here.
Yeah, it's a telemarketer.
Oh.
And it's funny, the phone never rings unless I'm actually online.
Do people really use phones that much anymore?
Just for screening calls. It's everybody uses not many people have home phones anymore. We do, but that's I think it's mostly to whenever you fill out your phone number that is going to get sold to everybody else, just give them the home phone and not answer it.
Oh,
yeah. We don't have one at all.
Gordon, I think, is it 6, Trey?
I can do 6.
Yeah.
I can add up to 6 people. I don't know if the next level up, I did do a 1-month trial, so I pay my dues to see how this works with full features on the base paid level. I don't know if the next level lets you do more.
I think when I was Warning was telling me about it, I think you have you can add more with whatever with like the next step or whatever.
But I'm just wondering how many people, like how many screens can you really fit on a stream, right? Like 12 people, it's going to be a bunch of thumbnails.
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably.
I think the hobby hotline, I think they use up to a maximum of 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think 6 is like the max for whatever Dre's got, but like a lot of people, they'll do up to 5 only because then you've got like somebody like a moderator or whatever that's on that 6th channel.
Yeah, it gets a little busy with people.
Well, that's why we wanted you and Norn on, so you guys can run the show and we can sit here and draw. Just
listen, I'm gonna have to bounce, guys, for 2 reasons. A, I've only got a very short pass from the wife to be here, and B, my phone battery is actually about to die.
Okay, no worries, buddy. Thanks so much for hopping in. Looking forward to.
And hope you all enjoy the episode tomorrow. And just everyone share it, like it, retweet it, put it in your stories. Just get it out there because we've got some good stuff planned for year 2 of the podcast. And the more people know about us, the better that will go. So.
Yeah, will do. Looking forward to it.
Great. Thanks, guys.
all right. Happy
Enjoy
birthday.
Happy birthday. Bye. And he's gone.
All right. All right. Now that he's gone, we can talk about him.
Yeah.
That was cool that he popped in.
Oh yeah, for sure. So glad that he did. Somebody else tried to come in, but I think they're having technical issues. So we'll see. Who else we have? We got Jonathan, Paul, Cottrell. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. There's some nice work going on. Thanks, buddy. I think Omega's on too, somewhere.
Oh, nice.
Might be hiding. And Jonathan Dunn saying that he's doing 49 Zoom meetings all the time. Well, it's not a contest. Could be, I guess. So how's your man thing coming along? I haven't actually been watching.
I have no idea. It's I think the biggest thing that I'm having an issue with in terms of working with acrylics is figuring out what that water to paint mixture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's funny is that it seems to me anyways that sometimes it varies depending on what color you're using.
Oh, for sure, because the pigment's different.
Right, but it's not even so much the pigment side of things. It's almost like there's a difference in like consistency, from tube to tube,
Oh, well, that's
based on, which is obviously based on whatever the pigments are and stuff. I mean it's all like one set, but it just seems, I don't know, it just seems like sometimes it's a little more washed out than.
Oh, you mean like when you go from red to green or something like that?
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And like, especially, or even like a dark green to like a much lighter green,
Right.
in this case. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a learning. I got a learning curve. So.
Yeah, but I see you're doing really thick paint washes, right?
Yeah. Right now I am.
Sorry to interrupt you. We have another
Matt
guest star. Boom, there he is. Got Norin Rad in the house.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, guys.
what's up, buddy?
What you guys been doing? Drawing. Amazing
Drawing.
things.
Make him mad.
Actually, Matt asked, why the base layer of red. It's the reason I did it is because it's a complementary color. It'll probably get covered sort of in the background and stuff, but red being a complementary color to green, it's kind of will help everything the character himself kind of pop, or at least that's what I'm told by all my friends who have actually studied color theory. Whereas I just kind of make it up as I go along.
Good answer.
Norton.
What's up, Norton?
Norton, my man. Oh, that's a funny joke. These guys. So I'm here. I got my Mew shirt on, so I can rock it out.
You just missed Ian.
I saw him. I was trying to get in, but I kept messing up on my phone.
I kept on saying there's no devices connected. I kept on seeing you popping in and out, but I couldn't let you in because you had no devices.
No, of course not. I was trying to do it with my phone because I was gonna draw with you guys and get some pointers and have you guys walk me through some amazing things. Because I figured I was here. Norton antivirus is on. Jonathan. But I love the work you guys are doing.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, it's you know what, and I gotta hand it to you and Ian, with the group. I think that it's if it weren't for like the groups there, Andre and I wouldn't even be doing this.
What?
It was funny story. What was it in February? I think I was at a convention. I was at the C2E2, the Chicago. What is it? Chicago Comic.
The non-sport one?
Yeah, it was a comic convention.
Okay, yeah.
It's run by the guys that do the New York Comic Con. But anyways, I'm sitting there at the at my table, doing my thing, and I get a message on the Instagram from this guy Andre that hey man, just listen to your to the podcast with you on it. That was good information and stuff like that. And I was like, oh hey, thanks. And then since then we've just kind of been trading secrets and chatting and so on and so forth. And it was like that day he was like, hey, we should do a jam piece of some sort.
So sick.
So
sick. Well, that's what all these guys used to do back in the day. I mean, when someone was telling me a recent story about when sketch cards first came out in 97 and 98, back in the day in those conventions, these artists were just passing them around. And again, like even some pieces aren't accredited. So some pieces you just don't know are jam pieces. I think it's great what you guys are doing, especially in a coronavirus kind of pandemic world that we're living in, right? I mean, what other way can you kind of do this?
Well, and that's the thing too, that you see a lot of artists that are out there that are, doing the live streams and stuff. And, we may be a little bit late to the party, so to speak, on doing that kind of stuff. But it's really fun to like sit down and interact. I mean, again, going back to the groups and stuff, it's, I interact with so many collectors that I probably wouldn't be interacting with as much if it weren't for the groups.
I mean, this might not be a new thing that's going on. Like I just recently saw the YouTube channel Drink and Draw. I just found out about it myself, which is a really cool channel. They do some really cool work there. And it's basically just a session like this where they're getting, pretty legendary artists to draw while they're all drawing and hanging out and talking. I'm down to do a non-artist drawing show. I am not a great artist at all. Where are you?
Yeah.
My head's in the way. I did a little poodle, which is nothing, but I don't really draw. But since I do a lot of work with scripts and film and stuff like that. I tend to do my own storyboards and little doodles here and there, but nothing in comparison to what you guys are doing. But I am down to do a non-artist drawing show,
Oh,
which we can plan.
That would be epic.
I'll gladly host it on this if you guys want.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be fun. I mean, I actually. Okay, what's up, Kat? What you need? Yeah.
Yeah.
Come here. No, you're just gonna be a dick. Cool. What was I gonna say? Yes, I am down for that. Actually, I've always been interested in getting better at the craft myself. Never to do anything particularly, just for my own entertainment.
Yeah,
But-
no, that's that's kind of how everybody kind of started.
Yeah.
Just a good question. I mean, Andre, how did you get into the sketch card gig? Curious.
Zach from UD,
Yeah.
from Upper Deck, messaged me on Instagram one day and said, "Hey, do you want to work on a set?" And I was like, "Sure." And that was Premiere 17. That was the first thing I did. Like I signed up for Instagram like 2.5 years ago or something like that. When I started drawing and painting again, because I hadn't done it for a very long time.
Right.
Like I went to school for it, but then I ended up going into computer stuff. Never really materialized to anything outside of a hobby, and then I stopped for like 10 years. I didn't pick up a pencil or anything. And then I'm spending so much time on the computer that I'm like, okay, I really need an outlet that's not digital. So I'm going to start drawing and painting again. So I started doing that, kind of sketching every night, and then set up an Instagram just to more like archive my work, because otherwise I end up with pieces of paper everywhere. And then got some followers, did some Marvel characters, and they reached out. So I was like, all right, I'm game.
That's awesome.
So,
I mean, that's the way to do it. That's how, when I first started collecting, I made that Instagram to basically just commission artists for surfers because they were so hard to find at the time. And, it's kind of my way of getting into the hobby. And that's how I started meeting so many artists who, were doing this stuff long before I started collecting. Like Mayonnaise and Bread, who's a really nice guy, who has a couple of really nice pieces. He has a really cool Instagram presence, and a few other guys as well, like Tony Perna, a bunch of different people. And that was kind of how I got into meeting all of you guys, really.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
See, and that's, again, I think that's kind of the cool thing with the, having a community, which is apparently not the community, and that's a bit of an inside joke for anybody that's following the thing. Anyways, I ended up, it's funny, I also got tapped by Zach. It was actually at San Diego Comic-Con. He just, this dude comes rolling through and starts going through my portfolio, kind of checks it out and says, hey, how do you feel about maybe doing sketch cards? And I was like, does it pay?
And then he said no.
And he goes, and said, yeah. And then I go, well, does it pay money? And he said, well, yeah. Not much, but and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
But it was like, and it was, what was funny was that he was like going through my portfolios and he came across this, it was a Wonder Woman. So like when I do like comic
hang on. Ian, sorry. Norton. Can we say Wonder Woman?
Can you say Wonder Woman?
I know
it's not Marvel, but
I love DC so much. You guys can say whatever you want, man.
Okay, just making sure. Go ahead.
100%.
Well, when I do comic conventions, I kind of switch from doing like doing full 11 by 17s. You just take a stack of papers and to do sketches and stuff, 8.5 by 11s, and found it was easier just to turn around and do my con sketches on like backing boards, for comics. And then so you basically buy a stack of backing boards, buy a stack of bags, and then like when you do a sketch, you just throw it in the bag and send somebody on their way. And it was one of those that was in my portfolio of Wonder Woman, and it was not a particularly good drawing, by the way, but I think because I did it at that size, he turned around and said, "Hey, you want to do some 5 by 7s for Premiere 17?" I was like, "All right," and that's I mean, it was just one of those things where it was kind of this fluke, where it's like, "Hey, you want to do that?" And I was, of course, I had no idea who he was until of course they ask you that, and it's like, "Oh, well, I'm Zach from Upper Deck." Oh, okay, so like you're not just blowing
Well, Matt Fuller, that was crossing the line when you mentioned Batman in that particular context. So, I had to do what I had to do, just so you know, buddy. But no hard feelings, mad love, for sure.
So from the comments, Gordon says, same thing happened to him on Premiere 17. Zach just emailed him one day.
That's awesome. Gotta get Gordon on here.
And
I don't think I've met Gordon.
Gordon Will, Art of Gordon Wills on Instagram.
I have to know. See, I get a little confused.
I'm sure you know him.
I'm sure I follow so many cool artists, but I tend to, my head's not the best with that kind of stuff. I'll go check it out now. I'm sure once I see the image of like his profile or something, I'm sure it clicks. Yeah, I know Gordon.
But you're going to turn around and say, you're going to see it, and then you're like, "Oh, you mean Paul Hill?"
Paul Hill. Paul Hill. Oh gosh, I know Paul Hill too. He's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think Paul yet. Gordon's asking if you're ever tempted to buy some of your cards back on eBay when they show up.
I can't. I'll be honest with you. Aside from just being a cheap son of a bitch, some of them there's no way I could afford, and I'm like, and I'll be honest with you, I'm amazed that they're even listed at those prices sometimes.
You'd be surprised with sketches. I mean, obviously you both draw extremely well. That's not the thing that people take into account usually for sketch cards. I think it's more about the value of the box, how rare the card stock is. You know what I mean? The character that's on the card. Kevin St. Jack and I and some of the other great guys in the chat already, Jonathan, Matt, we basically, man, it's very difficult. Oh, Matt pulled the Gambit dual panel from Gordon.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it. Yeah. So that's really what it comes down to on price. It's very finicky. I've tried to, Kevin St. Jack's tried to do kind of like a price guide scenario type of thing to help people.
In that train.
No, it was impossible. It was not something that was very feasible to do, even though we tried to come up with some kind of like bare minimum rules. For me, It's all 100% about whether or not it has silk on it. Jonathan. See, character collecting, it's easy. You know what I mean? You can just kind of evaluate as you go. But
and that's
I know.
It's and that's the thing is that when you're speaking pricing and stuff, I mean, man, there's no way. Now I find it funny that like not funny, but it's kind of neat how you've got like your go-to names that always seem to kind of demand a premium price for their work. And I wonder, sometimes is it, and you may know better than most, Norton, now that you're gone. Maybe I'll hold off. on that.
I like how we're all just
I
calling.
can hear everything.
Oh, okay.
I got my earphones on. Sorry, my cat was obviously starving because she only ate, 7 hours ago. So God forbid she not have food. But no, in terms
No,
of
I mean,
artists,
my thing is that is it something like, is it a longevity thing where it's like, okay, like so and so's been doing this since since sketch cards started, and then and don't get me wrong, you got a lot of some of these guys that are like even new now. They're just spectacular artists, and you could and it's all obviously it's all
very subjective.
eye holder type thing.
Yeah, very, very subjective kind of attitude towards it for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, okay, well, why is this guy or gal's work demanding a higher price when
Yeah, I have an answer for that for sure.
is
Yeah.
just a more refined work. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. It's not refined. It's not like if you take a benchmark of sketch cards like Nar, right?
Mhm.
Who's Julio Nar, who's such a nice guy, such a sweetheart. Has been cranking these things out for a long time, but he hasn't worked on an official set forever. Basically, he's making a good portion of his money just on APs alone. And I think what ends up happening with a lot of collectors in terms of the logic, and I don't speak for everyone at all,
Right.
but from what I've been able to gather is that some of these artists do have a legacy. And when you look back at their pieces, like you were saying, Jalen, with like Marvel Masterpieces 07, 08, like you've seen that card stock, you know what I mean? Where like every artist under the sun worked under those sets, and a lot of really great artists, so those are pretty sought out pieces. I think what ends up happening for a lot of collectors is that they look at those and they say, here's my benchmark, right? And sketch collectors are not the same as comic book collectors. Like personally, my style, the things that I get excited for are sketchy, unfinished, processed pieces. Right. I'm not a full paint acrylic guy. I love it. I admire it. I'm a huge fan of it, in fact. But when I look at pieces, I want to be able to like, I don't know. I like the thought. I like sketchy stuff. I just like sketchy, creepy kind of stuff.
And you know what? I feel the same way. It's kind of like I really like what did I get? I picked up. I think we took our daughter to Disney a few years ago. For the first time, and I picked up at the Hollywood Studios Park. They've got like this little animation place or whatever.
Yes.
I picked up one of those books on like just the art of animation or whatever, and that's what I love about like the animators and stuff with their work. Where and as a matter, it's funny, just like Gordon, when he posts his process pictures or whatever, you get really see those under drawings and the blue line drawing underneath, and the build up and stuff, and it's almost like, okay, dude, stop, that's perfect as is, don't even finish it. Well,
it's true. And like
put the marker down.
But you don't touch it anymore. It's good. You don't put any more flourishes on it. Don't put any more bells and whistles. Well, one of the drink and draw things I saw was with Mike Mignola. That's how you say it, right? Mike Mignola?
Yeah.
Sorry, my pronunciation is not good, so my pronunciation has never been the best. So I saw something with him.
Is not the best.
Say again?
Did you just say that your pronunciation
is not great?
Okay. Pronunciation. Got it.
Pronunciation. And so I saw something with him, and he was saying that he gets like that with his work. Like he'll be doing something and he knows he has to put like some kind of watercolor on it because it's a commission or it's a cover or whatever the case may be, and he just doesn't want to do it. Like he said something about his Hellboy, that it wasn't red enough because one, he didn't like taking the time to build up that base for the watercolor to make that red really lush. Like he just didn't want to spend the time doing it. And also he liked the kind of like a little more orange in it. And it ended up being just a balance of where he felt that he could be happy with where it was in the process and not touch it anymore. I love all that stuff. I think there's a moment in drawing, in any kind of art, where you get to a moment and you're like, you step back and you're like, and it starts all coming together. It's like the undertones and the shadows for your Venom, right? Like you can see that harsh light underneath that hand, and that effect is working really well in contrast. So it gets to that process where you have a little bit of that, and then you blend over into the sketchy stuff. And I think that's why people are kind of catching on to Bianchi sketch cards right now, because they have that unfinished process, kind of thing to them.
Drawing.
You can see the decisions. Like I have a piece in my office that I got for myself when I graduated
School
for my MFA, and it's in the back there. It's the Dali Head of Flowers, and it's a phenomenal piece. It's just a sketch, and it's this old man following behind this woman, which was typical of his style, in a transparent gown, and she just has a bouquet of flowers and as a head instead. I'll just try to find a picture for you guys in the back. But like those kind of high concept pieces, sketches, things like that, just something I personally get into. And I am definitely in the small camp for that. No one looks at sketches like that. I think from 90% of people, it's all about detail. I think the more detail and more precision that's in a piece, especially in a sketch card, I think people think it's worth more money. I don't necessarily agree, but I do see that as like a pretty big pattern for a lot of people.
Well,
and like you said, it is subjective.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. And to your point with it's like you get to a point in a drawing where, like you said, things are coming together, and then you go, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. And I'll tell you what, the worst thing that happens, which is most of the time, is that you keep working it and then you screw it up.
And I think that's something that you notice, being that it's your work, right? I think when someone looks at that from an outsider standpoint, they don't really catch it like you do. I remember when we were talking to people who will be coming up tomorrow, Road to the 50th, some really cool artists, and they were talking about the same thing, where they kind of would feel that process coming and so forth. I'd say so Jonathan says, I'd say name artist, artist name, subject, and then the effort that went into it. You can easily tell when an artist has spent 1 to 2 hours versus 5 to 10 minutes pretty easily. That's true. I feel for you guys for what you get paid for the pieces. Like sometimes I see what certain artists do as opposed to what they're getting paid to do. And it's very much, it's tricky, right? Because you do really good work all the time. Do you go that extra mile and hope you get an AP request? I don't know. I try not to put that much expectation on it on sketch cards for me personally. But with the way certain people price things, I think they look at a box and they judge the price according to how much a box is, just because a lot of people tend to go for these boxes and hope to hit the prize sketch,
It's funny too, because it's like, you'll see as an artist, you'll see like something pop up on the eBay or some kind of a discussion or something in terms of of what happens to be like your work, and you'll be like, dude, for that kind of money, I would have totally done an AP for you, and it would have been better.
Yeah, it would have had all the bells and whistles, baby. Yeah, oh, yeah. Matt Fuller says scene versus portrait as a genetic statement. Yeah, I agree. I think also, a good example of that is Perna and the setting and sets and all that kind of intricate work he does. Now those pieces are extremely, rare now, especially back in the day. And he was, making his name for himself and is surviving off. Well, he does other things obviously, but pretty much lives with a piece instead of working on sets at the rate that a lot of you guys are doing, which is like 100 cards, 120 cards for a set. You know, and I think when you add scenes and stuff, I just think personally, if I see someone doing something interesting with a character, then you got me. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, and I think it's one of those things where you go, you know, because we discussed this in the podcast that I was on with you, where it all kind of depends on the character in the sense of like how you stage them. You know, like for instance, you're not going to do just a portrait of like say Carnage, you know. There's got to be something going on, whereas you can get away with, you know, a portrait of, you know, some you know, female character, you know, where she's just kind of, you know, doing her
glamour shot.
yeah, glam
Yes.
pinup shot, you know. You can't do a Spider-Man pinup, you know.
Oh, sexy Spidey.
Yeah, like nose art on a World War II, you know, plane.
I like to see it done.
Challenge accepted.
Well, yeah, like Deadpool, you can do that though.
Deadpool, you can have a little butt in the air and that sexy kind of stripper pose for sure. I've seen it done, you know, because he breaks that fourth wall. He's very meta, so that works out for that character extremely well. But yeah, you know, it's a very demanding thing, and people can be a little. There's so much evolved in terms of so much happening with layers of how much you put a price on something, right? You have the cost of the box, you have the cost of your expectations, you have the cost of it being in your collection, and if you ever sell it, so you worry about ever making money off this thing or making it for a good trade, right? And that tends to be the second part of it. You know what I mean? People worry about, does this have trade value? Is this a popular character? Is this, is that? It's such a big audience that I personally think I don't think it's very helpful for the artists to try to pin down the secrets behind being in sketch cards. Personally, just because I don't think you're going to ever hit the mark. You know,
No.
I don't think it's about like you. Both of you have the experience of now being in the group and noticing that people hit you up and love your stuff, right? I mean, both of you have gotten commissions being in the group, you know, and people just hit you up. People get excited. People are like, oh man, you know, I love the personality of this artist. That's
people
another big one.
Contact you and give you money to draw stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. Just a little.
How do I get on that train?
It's a good train. It's a good train, man. No, I think, but you know, I think that's what happens to a lot of people. And I think it is personality. And I mean, really the kind of special thing about sketch cards, which is, I think has always been part of the hobby innately, just because the pieces are smaller and you're not competing with the original comic book guys and women who collect those pieces. I feel like, you know, there's some kind of level of intimacy where you can be like, oh, here's a card. Can you do a portrait, you know, or can you do whatever, you know, a sketch, you know, there's artists who I'll be like, if you can just doodle on this, I would love it. Thank you. I would cherish this forever, you know? And I think that's the kind of cool thing about the hobby is that intimacy, you know? I'm with you, Jonathan, but so for Matt Fuller, let me think.
If you're just joining us, welcome
Yes.
to the MCC podcast, episode 49.5.
Ooh, the in-between stage.
Yeah. The teaser trailer.
Oh, fuck.
No, Norrin, it's great if you keep an eye
saying-
on the comments, you know.
I felt bad. I was like, I don't know, should I? I never know what to do with comments. I'm just like, ugh.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Gordon Wills. I think some portraits are out there necessarily for artists. Sometimes it depends on timelines. Yeah, I would say so. You know, I mean, what's a natural timeline for you guys? You guys have worked on multiple sets now. So what's the range?
it gets shorter and shorter with every set. I'll tell you that much.
Has it really?
I don't know. The last one we had a lot of time, or I had a lot of time.
The last one was they got ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I think they learned from
Well, I think that there was to be honest, I think in 19, and it's funny that you were mentioning the cardstock thing. For Premiere 19, I don't know what went down, but something went down where about halfway through the project, they had to scramble and get basically get new artists and more stuff out there, which was funny because I think in all fairness, I think that the actual card stock between the physical release and the e-packs was slightly different. Would you agree, Andre?
I did all mine in one batch, so I don't know if it's physical or e-pack. I think it's physical. But like in terms of timing, I think I had like 4 weeks for it, and then I did half of them, sent them back, and said sorry, and I can't remember who I was dealing with, and then they said, hey, if I give you another month, can you do the rest? And I said, sure, but there was no time for that. I don't. But back to the comment about the cards, like I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I actually did 3 separate batches. The first set I did, it was a pretty short time span for the deadline, and I didn't get them finished, so I sent them back. And then there was something went down within the in-house, and then they scrambled to get more artists to do stuff, and then so I basically there was like an internet APB, if you will, that went out saying, hey, looking for artists to work on Marvel Premiere. Contact oh gosh, what was his name? He's not there anymore.
Matt?
Not Matt. No, this was one of the Matt was higher up in the food chain. This is one of the this guy worked for Zach. It was Ali's counterpart.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember his name now.
Micah,
yeah.
So anyways, he sent the thing out, so I sent him an email saying, yeah, I'm interested in doing some cards. Well, let me look at your let me go check out your portfolio. And it's like you were saying about DeVries, where it's like, dude, I literally just sent you a bunch of cards,
the organization.
Yes, it's like so, but it was
on the fault.
And then they moved back the release date on that, and it was like one of those things. Well, hell, if I knew that it got moved back, I'd finish off the set that I did, right?
Yeah. If I had the extra kind of like time and mobility.
Yeah. So they sent another batch out, but it like there was a snafu with the with shipping. So I was like one of the guys. There was like I actually got contacted in at San Diego. I had Micah, Ali, and Zach all come up to my table, and they said, hey man, about those cards, you are one of 4 people whose cards never went out. And I'm like, oh, awesome. He's like, you'll have them by the end of the week, kind of thing. So I was like, all right, cool. And then so I did that. They sure enough, a week after I got home, cards showed up, banged those out, sent them in, and then they turned around and contacted me and said, hey, now we're doing our batch for e-packs.
Right.
Are you in? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in, So, because I, to be honest, I actually thought that, hey, e-packs, that's just more exposure,
Yeah, it is technically. I mean, really, it really is. Yeah.
Now, and which will lead to something else. But but as it turns out, because the other batch was late getting to me, those didn't go into the physical packs. Those also went into e-packs.
Oh,
So I've got like, I think probably close to 60 cards that are all e-packs only.
Oh,
where
And-
are we? I think we're pretty close to that being sold out. I think we were talking last. Jonathan and Matt would know this. I think it's down to 55 cases or something crazy like that.
Somebody, I think a week ago,
Someone said something.
I think Jonathan said it was like 100 or something like a week ago or something.
Yeah,
But
John's a beast. Keeps
here-
track of that.
This guy, that guy is just, he's on top of stuff.
Mhm.
He so here's a question for you, Norton.
How dare you?
The what are your thoughts in terms of, because like for instance, you'll see if you go on to ePacks, you look at like, you look for sketch cards for Andre, and he'll have like, I don't know, maybe a handful of cards that are out there that are in the wild.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, yeah, you got exposure and stuff, but he's only got a few cards. Now, me, on the other hand, I've got, I don't know, there's got to be at least 30 cards of mine that's out there. Right.
Yeah.
Now, the question is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because Andre's cards have got to be all locked up then. And nobody wants, and they just want to trade them off.
Actually, it's weird, but not entirely true. So this is kind of a strange. So there are multiple things that happen on ePack sometimes. Sometimes you just have show accounts where they don't actually do trading and they just keep their collection live so everybody can see it, drool over it, envy it, and slightly obsess about it and hate the person for it.
Right.
So that's happened.
There's a couple guys out there that have numerous cards of mine.
I am not speaking from a bitter place at all. Okay. No, you couldn't recognize it in my tone. I hid it so well. What's another reason? So another reason would be, so they're up for trade. So they feel like they're good trade for other cards, which is always really nice. In my experience, the sketch cards, it depends on the collector. Like some collectors like particular artists and particular characters, and they just want it all. They don't care who the artist is. If it's a type of character or they like the art, they keep it, they export it out, and it's off ePack.
Right.
Or, especially with now the pandemic, unfortunately, people are not shipping cards home at all. So everything on CompC, everything on ePack has completely frozen. No one's shipping anything because it's so expensive.
Right. Well, and it's not leaving.
No, it's not. No, nothing's leaving. So like you would have to basically have, oh gosh. So it's 25 cents to ship a card. I'm sure someone will correct me. I'm sure Jonathan will correct me. Still an obscene amount of cases, Jonathan says. We don't have the same amount of big buyers as MP17. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's weird. I think people are starting. Look, everyone's trying to hit a Bianchi right now, in my opinion, in terms of the big spenders, the case buyers. They're really trying to hit those pieces. Pank. I love Pankit. What a beast.
He's got him.
He's got him. He's holding him for you. Pankit.com. You can find him there. Yeah, he's hoarding them all. He doesn't want any. He doesn't like to share. He's just that kind of guy.
There's a collector, and he's in the group. But I was like, because I after listening to your collectors club thing, I was like, all right, well, I could probably get into doing the character club. I could get into doing the doing a character,
Nice.
So like I kind of focused on Electra, which at the time I was like, nobody's really collecting her.
Who wants her?
Who's heard of Electra? Electra's a common character.
Dude, that's like pulling teeth, man.
And any female character, you're out of luck, man. It's not happening.
Yeah,
It's tough.
So funny. There's a member of the group, and he's on EPAX, and he's got a handful of my cards, and I was like, but he's like a big Daredevil, collector, and Daredevil.
I know who that guy is.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Daredevil,
yeah.
Elektra, and it's like I actually sent him a message on the EPAC saying, "Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to buddy up to you if I'm gonna, even hope to, maybe talk you out of some Elektra stuff." And hey, I'm a cool guy. You got like half of my cards on EPAC, Just
Did that go well?
Try and weasel up to him.
Man,
Hey,
that is my game. Okay, I'm a genius at that shit. You have no idea. All these other surfer collectors, this is not live, is it? No, we're fine, right? This is all secret private place.
Yeah, no one's watching.
No one's watching.
No.
Yeah, they don't even know what to hit them, man.
Yeah.
I've been friends with these guys for years. I'm just waiting for them to croak, and then I'm just buying all their shit.
Yeah, and the sad thing is like, and you use your real name so nobody knows who you are.
I use my multiple alias.
Yeah.
Norn Dad. That's one of them.
So
just slightly off enough to throw them off the scent.
Right. It's like,
no, apparently there's another guy out there who collects surfer, who is a black hole collector. I've never met him. I like to hope he knows about me and thinks about me in his off time, maybe like when his wife's sleeping. I don't know.
While he's wringing his hands.
Right. He's just like, wow. Could you imagine that other guy, that other surfer collector here?
That poor sad soul.
That guy's so fucked.
He's not getting anything.
You sit here and say they never know what hit him, and you're like,
he's just burning surfers. He's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna sit by this fireplace. He's never gonna touch him. I don't even care.
Yeah,
I'll destroy them all.
Nice with a binder full of surfers with a nice cognac in his hand. Just sitting there and going,
oh God, the surfer smells amazing.
Oh, doesn't it, Norn? Oh, that's right.
Oh, you're not here. You need to get on my level. Jonathan says you need to get on my level. I search groups for people interested in 95. Fuck some. No, Flair Ultra Spider-Man. Whoops. Just so I can get them into 2017 so I can have more trade partners for Silk. That's good, man. Get people addicted to the drug and pimp them out. That's the way. I've heard that somewhere. Anyway, that's a different strategy.
Yeah, it's funny because that EPAC. Andre, have you checked out the EPAC thing? Are you on there?
Stay away.
Yeah, I'm on EPAC. I'm a hardcore Doctor Strange pre-dailies.
Yeah.
So you're the one who has
No, I don't have that many, but I do it every day, and it's been like a year since I've done it. So I have a bunch. I gave Ian a whack load. It wasn't until Ian started trading that I figured out that if you collect 20 of the same one, you can redeem for a physical. Yeah, shows how much I know. And I did buy a few packs, like the annuals and some other stuff. And like I was telling Jonathan, I'm like, this is the devil's work. I'm not touching this. I'm not doing this.
Stay away, sir. Ian just told me about it too. We just did a mini episode of him claiming a bunch of Doctor Strange. I had no idea either. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. I'm offering trades, and he's like, "No, I can't do this. I need 20 for the physical." And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Don't make up things, okay? I might be new to this. You don't have to like prank me, man.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I had no idea either.
Yeah, it's funny too because you like if you start getting into it and looking at it, it's like, oh, dude, this is I found anyways that I'm much better at slumming it when it comes to trades than say you find something that you really like and you go, dude, I will offer you literally everything I have for this one card. And then the next thing you know, it's like, bam, declined. It's like, damn, I mean, it's almost like somebody slamming a door in your face.
it's rough, especially when there's no message, no thank you, no, I appreciate
it's
the
like
trade.
thanks,
Go
but
away.
thanks, nothing. It's just a decline.
Don't ever talk to me again. You've shamed yourself.
Yeah,
Go to
and
the
that's the
corner.
thing is that you're always afraid. It's like, well, all right, well, how about this? You don't even want to send them another offer because
I don't.
maybe you're kind of it's like, yeah, whatever, you amateur,
Jabroni. No,
Well,
it's rough, man.
Like, dude, you've got this thing out there, and I literally offered you everything on your wish list. No,
it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Oh,
You should
dude.
see me with man. I do the same thing because I don't care about that many other cards other than the naked silver dude. And people want nothing to do with me. Just like, come on, man. Like, really? Is this what you're offering me? I was like, this is literally shit you want.
Yeah,
and you don't want any of this.
Literally asked for this.
You asked for this. This is like me telling a little kid, like, you wanted to come here. Okay. Now we're stuck at this toy store forever. God.
Dude, you can't take my ball and go home.
Yeah, bro. Come on. Can't take my ball.
It's just an interesting dynamic. I was talking to Jonathan Dunn about it. I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, man, this is just that's a tough crowd, man.
It's a very tough crowd, and it's a mean crowd too. The fuckers. There's some nice people there, but
I mean, well, I think it was like when I just kind of started playing around with the EPACs. I think it was about the time that you guys did your EPACs, 201
oh yeah,
podcast. And so I started kind of playing around with it, and the next thing you know, and there's I don't know if it's gal, guy, or whatever, but next thing you know, it's like just out of the blue, and whoever this person seems to be a bit of a big hitter on the EPACs, constantly in the on the trade forum and stuff like that. And just out of the blue, I get an offer. I want to say her, but out of the blue, get an offer where it's like, oh, you know what? I'll take this off your hands if and literally gave me, what was it? It was the Sienkiewicz, some electric card that was a Sienkiewicz painting, but it was like a gold card.
Was it a buyback maybe? The Tears of Collectors, as known as aphrodisiac. So Matt, and I'm so sorry. So Matt Fuller says the Tears of Collectors are known as aphrodisiac. That's true. That's true. If you collect them over time, you'll never have any trouble whatsoever. You bring them to a party, everyone gets really excited. Like, oh, my collection's so much better than everybody else's. Ha 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 ha. Anyway,
says, he actually has a small number of cards that a buddy of his made him hold to hide from his wife.
Was that Ian?
Yeah, it was your buddy Ian.
What happened?
No, Gordon's saying that he's holding on a bunch of cards for one of his friends because he's hiding them from his wife. So, wondering if that's Ian.
No, that is not Ian. That is
you're holding all of Ian's cards
for collectors. No, I do not do wife hiding. I think if your wife's not a part of it, it's not real. Okay, you can't be a real collector if your wife's not on board, people. Okay?
Well, I got to tell you, this last set that I worked on, your wife is definitely a part of it.
Well, she appreciates it, and I do.
That was
her beauty. I'd be like, I'm just obsessed. I'm like running off with a sketch card, and Emily's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, I don't know. I can't escape the beauty of this card. I need to be alone. It's of me. And then we cry and run into each other's arms in a sunset type of scenario. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Just
with
for fun.
Playing in the background.
Beautiful, beautiful orchestra playing some lovely, lovely John Williams in the background as we come together.
Jonathan says that must have been the Electra TTA Copper achievement from Flare 19.
Yeah.
Beast.
I think that is. But no, I mean, like I said, I was like, but it's got to be somebody that's in the group or whatever. Because I mean, this is clearly not. It's not like I put out a hey, looking for any Electra. I think the only time it ever kind of came up was within the group, and like I said, it was like pretty. What seems anyways to be kind of a high end electric card. I think it was for if I'm not mistaken, it was for a patch, like one of those dual patch things.
It's probably they appreciated your work on the set, and they were like, you know what, this guy rocks. I'm gonna go ahead and give him this card, which I wouldn't doubt. There's a lot of as many bastards exist on ePack. There are some really great people on there who are actually extremely kind.
It was so funny. There was one time I got like a direct message from one of the guys in the group, and he said, "Dude, they're talking about you on ePacks right now, right?" Like in the little message forum.
Oh
and
yeah.
So I pop in and I was like, oh yeah, he's really turning his game around, things like that.
Oh, that's nice.
Stuff like that, and I go. So I pop in and I was like, "Hey, thanks guys, I appreciate that." and then all of a sudden it was like what the fuck?
How dare you? This was a safe space, and you ruined it.
And of course my handle is Lynn Warner. So it's like
there can't be no doubt.
Right. Well, yeah, but apparently there was, because they're like, dude, you're fucking with me, right? Kind of a thing.
You're not the guy.
So it was no, it's not, dude. It's really me. Thanks.
You're some other sick bastard named Lynn Warner. Get out of here, man.
Or somebody just created it just to,
just to troll everybody.
Exactly. That's exactly
what Bianchi. I collect only hockey cards. Okay, it's my passion. It's the thing I'm into.
Oh, Gordon is saying he's just trying to stay out of the Hall of Shame account.
Dude, it happens to all of us.
Did I tell you what I did after you told me about it, Jalen? I actually went into ePack and I messaged you guys. I was like, yo, if you don't want this card, man, I'll take it. And the guy sent me a message back like a month later, because I was like, well, screw this guy. He sent me a message back later. He goes, I think you're misunderstanding. I actually want this card. And I'm like, what do you mean you want this card? What's wrong with you, man? Your account's named Hall of Shame. And it's a collector. And I've met 2 or 3 of these people now. Actual collectors who like to collect the cards that everyone else is not into.
Right.
So anybody who goes to that account and tries to trade a card to it, he just takes it, or she just takes it, because they think, oh, these people don't want him. Well, I'll keep him and keep him over here.
Right.
So in my like PG world, Disney world that I sometimes live in, I'm hoping it's a nicer thing, but Hall of Shame kind of misleads you, and it's not a great name if that's what they're doing. Just gonna put that out there.
There's
that's not cool.
Not cool at all.
There was a guy. He's in the group. I forgive me because I'm not remembering your name.
How dare you?
But I know, because I mean, he actually he actually sent me a message. I think it might be even on that post, because I put out that post that said, "Hey, you've made it when your card's in the Hall of Shame."
Right.
So
it's like being in the tabloids.
So there was a
guy in the tabloids.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like I'm like Bennifer.
Suddenly you're married to Jennifer Anderson, and you're like, what happened here? How did I get here? How did I become 9 months pregnant and I'm have a bat child? What's wrong with me?
But so like the guy said, "Hey, I rescued your card out of the Hall of Shame." Apparently traded out for it, and he said that the what was it? He said the curator is what he
Curator.
The curator of Shame said that he messed up and put the card in the wrong account or something like that. But what was funny is it was like one of those things where, because I know that I mean, I don't know what the guy's intentions are or whatever with the name of the account, or don't care. Doesn't matter to me really.
It doesn't.
But it's one of those things where it's like everybody else's perception of what the count is all about is, that's what matters, right?
100%.
So
that's what titles are for.
when I posted that thing where, hey, now I know I made it because I'm in the Hall of Shame. It's like, okay, well, if that's the intent of it, it's like, well, I have the last laugh because I literally sold 3 or 4 APs just from that post.
Honestly, too, I think at the end of the day, as an artist, you have to be okay with being sure enough about yourself and enjoying your own pieces to kind of not care, because how you're rendered in the public is not really important to you. You know what I mean? It's what's important to you is, if your fans enjoy the work and you're enjoying what you're doing, and if you're lucky enough to make a living in some regard, you know what I mean? Then that's part of the life you live, and you're fortunate enough that you get to live a life where, literally it's your skill that's allowing you to partake in this cool kind of thing called art. I don't know.
No, I think it's
wisdom coming from Norton.
What happened?
So much wisdom coming from you.
Oh, shut the fuck. No. Oh, that's fucking great. That's
like Zen stuff right there.
Some Zen stuff. I'm so cool, man. I am drawing something.
Yeah.
It looks like it. What are you drawing?
I know you guys are not going to like it. Or, no, I shouldn't say that. I'm just kidding around. I don't know. I was just doodling, and it came into this. I have no idea how to shade well, and I would love to learn more about shading and doing cool lighting effects like you guys can do, obviously. But like it's like an octopus with like one of its tentacles is kind of showing the shape of a moon. It's high concept because I'm that cool.
Thinking outside the box.
Thinking outside the box. Where are you?
Oh yeah.
But just some little sketchy sketch, just to keep my hands busy.
Yeah.
A little sketchy sketch.
It's cute.
It's there. It exists in this world as we know it. It is now a thing that I've birthed from my creativity womb. I don't know. That was going nowhere.
Now give him a whiskey bottle and he's a drunken squid.
Let's give him a whiskey bottle. Where the fuck am I going to put this whiskey bottle? I know exactly where I'm going to put this whiskey bottle. But yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. For my what I do in my personal work and all that other stuff, I definitely admire and mad respect for anybody who learns this craft that is drawing and is able to do it repetitively and practice and get better at techniques and build upon those techniques and learn from other artists and layer up. And I think that's the thing about drawing that I've never fully realized, just because I just don't have the practice. I've never understood how to build up a piece. You know what I mean? Like starting from the bottom layer. And what happened?
I said me neither.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Every time you sit down to a piece of paper with a pencil or whatever, it's like it's a new learning experience. You're never really a master.
I think that's the cool part though about drawing. I mean, that's how I feel about writing. You know what I mean? Like when I do my work or I do my stuff.
Before we get too far off, just remembered. You and I need to talk. You said that.
How dare you?
You said you write scripts and stuff.
Yes.
I want to talk to you about a pretty high concept project.
Okay, I'm in.
It's
sold.
Sold. Done. See how that works? Not like those Hollywood elites that just have contracts and assistants.
Not when you can turn around and just go, hit Indiegogo.
See, that's where I'm at with it right now. It's Indiegogo. This mother, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down to talk. I'm always
anyways,
down.
Yeah, sorry. That was a. I know you guys aren't into sidebars, but.
Oh yeah, I've never sidebar in my life, right?
So going to the comments for a second, Gordon says appreciates all the support he gets, and the hate just goes in one ear and out the other. Finish
Smart.
not perfect. I know I'm not the best and art is subjective, so it doesn't bother me if people don't like my art. That's it. Exactly. Not everyone's gonna like everything, and
exactly.
Move on, right?
I think one of my favorite quotes ever by an artist was by Ramita Jr. When somebody asked him about his style, he said, where do you get your style from, or with what you're doing? And he goes, my style is entirely based on my deadline.
Ooh,
yeah.
like
He's like, it's whatever it needs to be to get done on time. And keep in mind, when it's all said and done, sketch card artists, as an example, comic book artists, they're not you're not talking about Michelangelo. You're not talking about Da Vinci,
Yeah, but if you know anything about those guys,
we are commercial artists. We literally draw stuff not to die and then have it be worth something later. We draw stuff to get paid now.
You know what, though? I think a part of that is not to say commercial art is not artful, because the reason
I'm not saying that. I'm just
You're not. No. I'm just talking.
Not everything can be a masterpiece, especially if you have a deadline, and and you're working on 2.5 by 3.5 inches.
Yeah, no shit.
I'll tell you what, it takes a while to get used to the size of the canvas. That's for sure.
That's what she said.
Yeah, well, it does take a while to get used to it.
That was funny.
You went there?
I couldn't help. I've been watching The Office, so I'm kind of stuck. I'm so sorry. I don't want to go there because I know it always starts with like everything being around that joke suddenly, and then that's the whole like discussion.
That's still one of my favorite jokes. Actually, my favorite one right now is I irritate my daughter by because she's at the age now where she's like kind of hanging out in her room doing her own thing. Parents aren't cool and so on and so forth. So every now and then I'll do like that scene from Airplane where Leslie Nielsen just keeps popping into the cockpit. I just want you to know that we're all counting on you. Throughout the day, I'll just say the same thing to her over and over, just pop my head in and say, just so you know, you have soccer practice at 5 today. It's
better than coming in there and being like sitting down on her bed, looking at her like, this doesn't really work. But one of my favorite doesn't really work. Just sounds weird. But one of my favorite lines from that is the captain's there and he has the little boy in the cockpit. Oh. And boy's sitting there with a pilot. And the captain walks, he's just sitting there and they're looking out and they're having this kind of tender, quiet moment. He's like, Timmy, you ever seen a grown man naked? And just out of the blue, random scary fucking line. And I always laugh at that line. It just always makes me laugh every time I think about that.
It's like the build up to that or whatever.
The build up to that line is just perfect.
You ever seen Gladiator movies?
That's what it is.
Timmy, when Scraps rubs up and down on your leg?
That's what it is. Look, it's sick. It's just so fun. Such a funny movie. I haven't seen that movie. Who was I talking to? Oh, Rick. Rick hadn't seen Young Frankenstein.
Oh.
Right. So hopefully he watched it over the
roll the hay.
Roll the hay. Oh,
the mom and Mr. Mom.
Guys who are watching, if we missed a comment, just post it again.
Yeah,
Kind
so
of.
sorry.
Somebody's going on a tangent. I'm not going to point any fingers.
Okay, rude. Okay, I
I
don't
didn't
need
point
that.
any fingers. Matt Fuller wants to know if anyone's ever been in a Turkish prison.
Twice. I
Twice?
don't know what I'm talking about it.
Voluntarily or not?
What happened?
Voluntarily?
Obviously, how else do you go to Turkish prisons? Weirdo.
Who wouldn't?
Who would it? Sounds like a fun holiday to me. Damn pandemic. Canceled my last plans. I'm stuck here. Non-Turkish prison and all. I talk too much. Why do you guys let me talk like this?
I don't know. I don't know who invited you to this thing in the first
You guys
place.
should not have invited me. I know both of you are regretting this right now. I can tell.
No,
this is great.
This is the prequel to tomorrow.
This is where we go.
Jonathan says that he'd love to watch you birth a cephalopod.
Wait.
Maybe we can do that next time we do a live stream.
I'll work on it. I'll find something. Build something in my house to put that out there.
Just make it happen.
Just make it happen. All right, I put like an alcohol jug in his mouth now.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so that's happening. There you go. He's getting drunk off his own supply.
Nice.
I'll put a little ship in the background.
So we had earlier, we had a lot of people say that they'd be on board for a drink and draw, as well as the non-artist drawing thing. The what?
I say we
Only
do it
somebody,
next.
if only somebody could like come up with a design to like print on the back of some cardstock that everybody could draw on.
Yeah,
You know,
I've
like
been trying to get someone to do that. Wait a minute, I can do it.
wait, yeah.
You can do it.
You can do it.
You got
this. You got this. Yeah, I have to find time to do that. I gotta get that done because that would be fun. I think that'd be really cool to have that.
It's funny. I see like, you got a lot of artists, which I think is super cool. They've got like their they do like their personal, collections, like what the Pernas just came out with was it the fairy tale thing?
Classic fairy tales too.
Yeah.
Beautiful sketch cards that are coming out of there. Insane sketch cards. Actually, I'll share my screen and show you one.
It's so funny. It's so funny because Andre like sent me a note. Hey man, did you work on this set? And I'm like, and it
What's
was
a burn?
where, dude, obviously you had to have worked on this set because you have, and I'm like, or because I have, and I'm like, no, did you work on that set? And it's like, no, okay, yeah, I didn't know about it, but I
Did you guys? So you guys really didn't know about it?
No, I didn't know anything about it until I started seeing like stuff pop up on the Instagram and stuff. And again, I mean, it's not like they're not going to turn around and say, "Hey, Josh, can you do?" Yeah, I mean, it's like, dude, they're probably paying better than Upper Deck is.
I would definitely ask them and talk to them. I'm loving this person. We have to get him or her on the show. Effie. Yeah, EFX. Can you guys see my screen? No.
No, you can't screen share this stuff.
How dare you?
Art of EFX.
Okay. Yes, that's
Art
it.
of FX. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's he or she.
But amazing.
Some amazing work. You guys definitely need to hit that individual up and get them on the.
Yeah, they're in the group. I'd like to have them on the show. I think it'd be fun to talk to them for sure. But there's some great pieces up. So if you go to eBay right now and you go to Classic Fairy Tales Perna or Perna Studios, or you can get in their group. Perna Studios is on Facebook.
Oh,
and
that's right. You know what? I think I've seen that. I don't know if I
actually just joined this morning.
Nice. Perfect. I would. I think they're great. They do a Halloween series too. I'm probably going to get on the next one.
Is Ian back?
Yeah, he's messaging. He said that FX is dude.
Oh, it's a he. Hey Ian. Yo.
He got his phone charged.
Oh, is that what happened?
Well, that and
And
he
he
was
probably got
he
permission.
was spending too much time with the boys.
Rightfully so, man. Hang out with your wife. Gosh, honey, I'm coming. 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to go in a little bit.
So, there we go. See? Point made.
Point made, sir. Yeah, there's some really nice pieces here. Definitely pieces I want, but they're pricing accordingly. So they're expensive.
Yeah, I saw Fred Ian did a bunch.
Yeah.
People are
Like-
obsessed. Proper obsessed.
Oh yeah, he's
Top notch.
top notch.
Yeah, I'm looking at his, I think, Snow Queen right now, and it's 500 best offer type of thing. Looks clean. Looks really nice. See, like like Perna Studios, I really like what they're doing because I feel like they're paying sketch artists really, really fair amounts, and it shows in the work. You can see artists that do work on here compared to Marvel, and if there is timeline restrictions and all this other stuff, you're just not going to get the best, most comprehensible pieces when people are rushing, or trying just to make a living.
I think when you're dealing with with the Pernas as an example, they can sit there and focus on a project and say, okay, yeah, we're gonna release this, at whatever date, right? And they plan accordingly because they're not like, it's not like Upper Deck where they've got 5,000 different projects going.
No, Upper Deck's working hard, man. They're just running.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they're phoning it in or anything. I'm just
no.
They've got a little more. They're a little more equipped to be able to stay on on task, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree. I think would be really cool. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't think there really is an answer. I think people will, do the best work they can, and APs will sell the way they sell, or have more of a sketch focused set, which is like you have with Marvel Premiere right now. Which is nice. I think those are nice sets to have, the kind of like that kind of focus, that hyper focus, and it does bring all the boys to the yard for those kind of sets, because you have people who are just basically in it for the sketch card type of thing. Those things should take a long time to come out instead of being rushed, if they are. Let people do some really big pieces.
Sometimes they take longer,
Yeah, man. I mean, hell yeah. I mean, you have to understand, right? Like, especially from my perspective, like I am very much I might buy this. I am very much a person who is like has to work a job and then create on top of that. Does that make sense? You guys know what that means, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people realize that.
It's the because I mean when I was working full time, being an artist, but having another job being a professional sailor and sailmaker and things like that. There's not a whole lot of there's not really an outlet for that creativity, and I've always been one of those people that I gotta have several different interests. Like I never understood those people that have like that one singular interest. Like as when I was a professional sailor, I did that stuff for a living. But you had all these other people that were, the amateur sailors, and it was like the only thing they had going for them, was like sail this, sail that, racing sailboats. That was their entire life. And don't get me wrong, I mean, they got real jobs and this is their outlet, and that's fine, but it's like I got to have something else as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like, it's like for me at the time, it was, okay, I was racing sailboats. I was working my job. I was drawing, working on my comic book. Then I got into competitive shooting. I mean, it was like, there's always something else that you can kind of, focus your energy on. And when you get those people that really focus on the one thing, they get pretty intense about it, you know. And it's like every now and then you just basically want to say, "Hey, dude, one of us needs to settle the hell down," you know. So it was just weird, you know. And then of course, there, you know, and then along with that intensity comes that weird ego where it's like, hey, like as an example, yeah, man, I collect Marvel trading cards, you know, and that's really kind of the only thing I do, and I'm the best at it. Well, dude,
Oh, it defines you.
yeah, but it's like you're not the best at it. I mean,
Norton's the best at it.
Norton's the best at it. That's right. Good work, man. I'm so glad you said it before me, because then it would have sounded super conceited coming from me. But as long as someone else said it, now I can back it up with facts. Yes, I am the best of all things ever.
Never, yeah.
Like, you guys are professional artists right now, but I mean, if I drew something, like if I did it, it'd be amazing.
It would totally be the best.
It'd blow your mind. I don't do it, so I don't blow your minds. That's just what it is.
He'd never.
It's like a public service thing.
Starting to think this won't get done.
I think this might be.
Oh, hang on, let me look up. Let's see. How's yours coming along?
How mine?
Yeah, we can look at yours too. I was asking Jay Linda.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, I was about to say. That's good.
Oh yeah, we didn't. I don't think we banked enough time for this. How long have we been on? An hour and 40.
oh. Yeah,
I'm about halfway there.
Oops.
That's looking great. Love that lighting effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that part like pretty much white. Maybe just do a very faded blue wash at the end to bring it all together. But that's staying white.
I think white is better because then it does this great contrast to the backing of the card. It's just, it feels so like dimensional. I don't know.
Yeah,
I love that.
I know you're a fan of the white backgrounds.
I'm a sucker for a clean card, man. I don't know what it is. I know other people are not, but I like I like graphic artwork a lot. So I like the kind of simplistic. It's obviously not simplistic, but you know, that kind of contrast.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's nice. Very
But
nice.
to your point, it's not for everyone. Like I've talked to some people.
Yeah. It's just not their thing. It's just not their thing, and completely understandable.
Some people like full blown out background. Some people don't.
No,
like I said earlier, right? It's all subjective. It's all.
Yeah, there's no. No, you can't draw for collectors. That's impossible.
That's the funny thing too, is because I've floated, you know, on the group the old, hey, what would you like to see on this unnamed set, kind of thing, right? Which
800 comments later, and they're all different.
Oh my god! And I gotta tell you, man, that everybody jumped on that, and you know, God rest his soul, fucking blob fan, Rodney, man, he was like, dude, yeah, I think he was like the first one. Blob, you can never have too much blob.
He was the best. I love that guy. Really amazing.
That guy.
I never got a chance to meet him.
Came out of nowhere, like a can out of a cannon too.
And he's been around for a long time, longer than I have, longer than most people I know. Like he's part of something called the Old Guard of sketch collectors, and he's had a massive blob collection for. And he's kept up with it too, you know, and you know, unfortunately it stopped, but that's why I bought that piece. I was like, you know what, for someone who has such like a sketch card legacy, I'd love to have a card in my collection that's, you know, from the blob sketch card collection. I don't know.
I did for the set, and I'm because like when you do the when you do the cards, they basically say, okay, make sure you sign the back. And then, but scan the cards to send them in to them. And I think that what happens is that they basically turn around and say, okay, they like this, they don't like that, whatever. And they go through the scans, but it's only on the front of the card, right?
Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't have people's unsigned cards approved.
Right. That's it. Yeah, that's how those sneak through, right? So, there was, after Rodney passed, I went back and I had a few blob cards that I actually did put in that set, and underneath my signature for those cards, I put for Rodney.
No way, really? That's amazing.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
you did too, right, Andre?
I did FR.
Nice. I can't wait for people to share that in the group. I mean, I think that's just so nice, and
Yeah,
just a great way to remember a collector.
It's just like
Well,
if you
good
know
guy.
what it means, if you know what it means, it'll mean something to you. And if you don't know what it means, then you can just wonder what the hell's the FR under the signature.
Yeah.
Shows up on the e-packs, and somebody's going to turn around and say, "Dude, you're letting that go? Sweet,
Yeah.
I'm on it." You know, 'cause
It's
it's not even a blob card at that point. It's a Rodney card.
It's a Rodney card, baby.
it's
Just so cool.
it's not funny. That's the wrong word. But the day that I found out, I was actually working on a card with Blob, and I was going to do Toad and what's his name, Sauron, the pterodactyl
Oh,
thing.
nice. Yes, from
But
Savage Land.
I hadn't finished it. I just had the Blob and Toad done. So
Oh,
I mean, assuming the card's done, assuming the card's approved, will pop up. So in the layout, you have the Blob here, Toad's head at the bottom, and then I have the space open for Sauron. And then the news came, and I just kind of said, "No, I'm not touching this anymore."
yeah.
I did submit it. Hopefully, it makes its way through. It's kind of a weird composition because there is that big empty white space. But again, if you know what the FR is for,
Yeah.
then
That's
I
actually
think
yeah.
And you know what? I'd be surprised. He was a pretty big presence, no pun intended, in terms of Blob. But he was a really, everyone really knew who that guy was. I mean, I knew when I first got into it who that was pretty immediately. I was pretty made aware because he was just very nice, very friendly, very, very, very obviously extremely passionate. I mean, he's very much an OG character collector,
right.
in my opinion.
Yeah, and I had the opportunity to chat with him a little bit.
That's nice.
He had asked for an AP and kind of started working on it. He never, unfortunately, got to see it. I'm just waiting for that to be approved, and I'll send it out to. I'm not sure who's managing his page, but
It might be Matt. I don't know. I don't mean to put him out there, but that's who I
yeah,
bought.
I gotta send a message. I don't think Rodney ever did get to see the final card.
Yeah.
But as soon as it gets cleared, actually, as soon as it gets cleared, I'll send it out to.
I hope more people pick that up for their collections. I think that'd be a nice little way of, keeping collectors and collections alive. Because not everyone's going to be like a huge fan of the Blob or whatever.
His niece is coming in.
Yeah.
Is his niece? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because she made the announcement, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was actually Rodney that told, not Rodney. Jay Linda told me.
Yeah. I actually had a couple of APs that were like he had, kind of hit me up for some APs, and and of course I was in the middle of, working on a project for Upper Deck. So it was, on, under deadline. So I was like, all right, dude, I'll get to it. But the thing is that I refuse to like take anybody's money, prior to, if I can't get to it, I'm not going to, turn around and take your money. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it's in the foreseeable future that I'm going to get to it, yeah, I'll take your cash. But
take the money and run.
Yeah, exactly. But at that point, it was like, yeah, dude, there's no way I'm going to get to this for, the next, month, kind of a thing.
Right.
So, I wouldn't take his money at that point. And then, unfortunately, he passed before I got to a point where I could start working on his APs. But yeah, there were a few private messages with the Rod the Blob,
with the man, the blob himself.
Mhm.
the man himself, and a vet. So
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
yeah, he was a Navy vet. I pay attention to those things.
No, I mean, you obviously you're more clued in than me, who is an admin of the group. So
Well, no, that's just because
We now have more admins. Up
well, so
Jonathan says that he wants to race you to making another rainbow web foil.
I'm not doing it. You can keep it. I'm over it. I'm done. I've done 2. I can't do it. Ronnie was due to be on the podcast. Yeah, I remember, Ian. That was crazy. We had scheduled him in. Ian did. And it
That was the
gonna
Dylan
happen.
one, right?
What happened?
That was supposed to be the Dylan episode.
I think so.
Yeah.
was that? Okay.
It might have been. Yeah, Ian was on top of that and scheduling that, and it was pretty nuts that it happened so quickly near that. That was a little weird. But yeah.
I thought you know what? I'm thinking about it. And Norrin, you said that you're the best collector. I'm
This is
down
true.
to watch this race.
You're down to what? See, here's the thing, right? Jonathan doesn't tell you, right? Is that it really depends what character you pick. Like I was able to do Spot pretty quickly, but I admire anybody who's doing a female character because I finished the Calypso, but that was a nightmare because
And she's not a well-known character.
She's
right?
not, but she's like half nude, so everybody wanted the card suddenly. I can be honest. I can say it. Okay, I understand why it was a nightmare to get. I really like the character because I remember her from the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man. I don't know if you guys seen that small run where he did her and the Lizard.
No,
it's sick.
I know. She was pain in the ass to draw.
Yeah, she's tough, man. Yeah, the hair is really difficult. Yeah, that's not an easy character to get right. And so I went for her
to get right and do according to the rules. Because she is
we're going to talk
naked.
about the rules in a minute. Sorry.
Yeah, the rules. Well, because she was it's really a skimpy outfit they have her in when they first had her in there. Yeah, definitely. But I like the art of that piece. I like creepy stuff. I like supernatural stuff. I like horror. So I always liked that character. And I really love kind of obscure Spider-Man villains. I'm just a huge fan of those kind of aesthetics and stuff. Ian is doing Black Cat web foil, which is just a nightmare. He's at 50, which is pretty good, but he's stuck apparently. And then Jonathan says, yeah, Ian said that, and then Jonathan said, laugh out loud, seriously though, watching that race would be like watching 2 turtles run across the country. Yeah, that would be a nightmare. I'm ready to see these numbers start going down. I want to see this product sold out. I want to see some plates. I want to see some crazy pieces start coming out. I'm tired of seeing it on ePack, man. I want it all open. I want to see everything. I want to see us start coming down. But all right, so here's my octopus. I have to go in a little bit, unfortunately, even though this was amazing. And you guys are way too kind for inviting me and letting me take over and talk as much as I have.
Oh, dude, really kind of wish you would stick around so we wouldn't have to do it.
So this is what I got from our draw. We will be doing a draw, drink, amateur collectors, something or another. Ian comes up with all the titles, so to be fair. But we're going to do something, do a little round table. I'm going to figure out a way to hook up my phone so you can actually see me draw while I draw and not just my ugly mug. But this is what I did. Let me get better lighting over here.
Lighting. There we go. Looking good.
Little fun, little doodle, little hanging out, little boat. This guy, this little boat guy. But there you go. Not the best, but it is what I contributed to this fine episode of 2 brilliant artists drawing some amazing characters.
Well, let's not get out of hand here.
We can, and we will, sir. We will. Thank you guys so much.
Lauren, thanks so much. Looking forward to the podcast tomorrow.
I'm excited for you guys to hear it. Let me know what you think. Should be pretty epic. Everybody else, thank you so much for commenting. John, Ian, Matt, You guys are all killers, amazing people. Bye, guys.
Later, man.
Bro.
Glad he's gone. Jeez.
Jeez. Thought we'd never get rid of him.
So let's talk a little bit about the rules. I actually told a couple of people they asked for APs for like, what was it? White Queen or like Emma Frost. What I can't remember. Zatanna.
Isn't that DC? I know it's not Marvel. No, I'm just
No, there's a Marvel one that's kind of like Zatanna or Satana or something like that. Maybe Satana.
Satan.
And sorry.
Yeah, with S. With an S.
Yeah, what it is. Yeah. And I
Right.
just said, no, that stuff's never going to get cleared. I can't do. I don't think I can do those characters.
What an ass.
I don't think I can do those characters properly and clear approvals. And it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to.
Yeah, you want to do justice to the character, but you also want to, play by the rules, but you also want to, take care of the client,
Yeah. So it's like, sorry, like I won't do those characters.
In all fairness, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't, I'm not as up to date on books, comics, as what I should be these days. But dude, if you're not, if the character doesn't look like it, you can't have a comic out there of a character where, like, as an example, the Calypso thing, right?
Yeah.
In the comics, she's very
half naked,
clad, and then but now you're supposed to, you can't draw her like that, so now it doesn't even look like her.
Yeah.
So now you get a card where it's like, yeah, I don't even know who this is. I'm not even gonna, approve it. It's like for instance, you draw the White Queen where she's wearing,
she's wearing lingerie.
Yeah, but if she's wearing like a pair of '80s white pair of jeans and a fur coat or whatever, it's like, well, who the hell is this person?
Right.
So I don't know.
It's one of those challenges, right? And it's like,
well, it's right up there with the whole nipple discussion. Well, can you draw the Hulk with nipples? I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. I remember if my Hulks had nipples on the last set. I can't remember now.
Yeah, but it's like, but that's something that I personally was very in tune to. Ooh, can I do this?
Yeah.
So I just turn around and draw him with a hairy chest and say, you know what, it's covering his nipples.
Yeah, I'm not getting mine done. How about you?
Neither am I.
Good work.
Yeah, no, I may have been a little overzealous with the. Oh yeah, let's do a triple panel for a live stream
in paint.
Yeah, yeah, if I had done this with marker or whatever, this thing would have been done an hour ago. Jonathan said he searched EPAC for Hulk nipples. Only found one.
Oh,
so
probably mislabeled.
And that could have been one that just snuck through the editing process.
Well, even like with the approval, sometimes, I've had stuff denied and it's like, okay, fine, too sexy or too much cleavage or whatever. And then I go on eBay or I go on the group and see somebody, oh, I just opened this in Premiere, and it's like, bam, nipples.
Dude, that's way worse than what I did.
I'm like, man, like, what, really?
Yeah, I don't think it's one dude at Marvel that's that's going through this stuff. I think that
Yeah.
there's probably a handful of interns or something that go through it, and everybody's got a different opinion. I am pretty sure that there is at least one person there that is I don't know, bucking for a promotion or something and slinging their weight around. You know,
Just
it's whoever that
denying stuff.
probably whoever that guy is that basically rejects entire sets by people.
Yeah, I don't.
Into trouble by even bringing that up, but
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily go there.
yeah,
But I don't get that. I mean, we've discussed that. Like, I don't understand how something like that could even happen.
yeah,
But
you didn't find one that worked, and
yeah,
I honestly wonder if that might be because again, I think I brought it up in the podcast with the guys. Dude, if it were up to Upper Deck, they would put absolutely everything out. They wouldn't reject a damn thing. You
oh
know,
no, I mean they want to have as much product as possible because I would imagine that they have when they do their plan for a set, they're like, okay, we need X amount of sketch cards.
right?
So for every card that gets rejected, they got to figure out a way to make up for it. And maybe there's extra. Like I've seen some live pulls of Endgame,
Right.
and people are getting 2 sketch cards in a pack. I've seen a few live pulls where people are getting 2 sketch cards in a pack. So I'm wondering if that's a set where they had too many.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Or they're like saying, they're just planning for that many rejections. But I wonder if that was one of the things that was the issue. Of course, everything I say is pure speculation when it comes to,
Yeah,
anything
for sure.
because I mean, sketch card artists for the most part, they're like mushrooms. You keep them in the dark and you feed them shit. But but the thing is that I wonder if there was like some snafu with the premiere thing, which is why they had to scramble on some of that stuff. Was
Yeah,
there, huh?
yeah, I'm sure something must have gone down, or they miscalculated, or somebody really um, screwed them on it.
Oh
But I
yeah,
mean,
or yeah, somebody turned around and said, "Yeah, I'll do it," and then they didn't do it, or you know,
if you
they
look at, you have
or
somebody
they
that was
broke the
committed to do
rules.
60,
They
70
broke the
cards.
rules or something.
Yeah, like if you have somebody committed to do like 60, 70 cards, that's with Premiere, that's 60, 70 packs that they
Right.
can't produce now because they don't have the product. So, but even one person wouldn't have been enough for them to justify scrambling that many people.
No, and that's why I wonder if there was like, because I mean, you know how it is. You see some of the stuff that pops up, on the line, guys that are just like completely ruining the surprise, so to speak.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like the first thing they tell you is like, hey, dude, we want you to work on this
but
project.
don't
Uh,
tell anyone.
yeah, it's like you're part of Fight Club, and the first rule is that you don't talk about Fight Club. And a lot of
And then
these
they
guys,
go online, I'm in Fight Club.
hey man, are you in Fight Club? I'm in Fight Club. I mean, it's just it's kind of weird to me. That it's like I've actually told guys, hey man, you might want to lock this down
Yeah,
because Big Brother's watching. You know, so so I wonder because I know for a fact on Premiere I saw a lot of stuff popping up
yeah.
online in terms of, hey guys, guess what I'm working on, and then shortly thereafter there's like that, that mass call for, hey, we need artists for this
Yeah, so
project that
maybe,
everybody
maybe you're
apparently
right.
knows about now.
Yeah, maybe you're right. They just went and shut those guys down and took away their license. Not
And
the
that,
license.
but that's the thing is like, yeah, no, but you can't turn around and say, you know what, you're done, send the shit in.
No, they're
They
gonna
had,
let them finish
they had to let them
and
finish,
then reject.
they
Yeah,
reject everything, and that's where that comment with the slightly different stock came in. You know,
and maybe they did a second print run.
I think they did a second print run on those sketch cards. Yes. I mean, it seemed that way to me. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't like the stock was shit. I mean, it was
Different.
still, but it was not the same stock.
Right.
So
So I gotta say, my makeshift stay wet, it's working pretty good. All my paint's still wet. Like I poured the blue on the black when we started. It's still wet. It's a lot cheaper than.
What'd you use? Is that like a coffee filter or something that you?
No. So this is a Tupperware lid, and there's two. I cut Bounty extra thick, 2 sheets. Count them, 1, 2, and this is like dollar store parchment paper that I cut in a circle. So I just wet and I can see the Bounty sheets. They're still moist. So, gonna be doing this. I have a stay wet. It's just like you gotta clean it and maintain it, and
no, you should try that with a coffee filter.
Yeah, I will definitely give that a try too.
Yeah,
I think it was somebody like a bigger artist.
What, bigger than you?
Sorry?
Bigger than you?
Yeah, I know, right? No, like somebody. Oh, what is his name? Was talking about it on one of his podcasts. Like, oh yeah, if you don't want to go dish out $50 for stay away, just put on a couple pieces of tissue paper and some parchment on it, and boom, you're done. It's like, yeah. Sure enough, it works.
Yeah. No, I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if you had like, just take like a bunch of sand or something, throw it in your little Tupperware thing, throw in some water in a coffee filter over the top.
Yeah, it might work. I'm gonna try it. I mean, this works. I'm amazed on how well this works. I'm like totally doing this on a regular basis. I'm gonna cut like a whole roll of Bounty sheets after I'm done. That's ready to go. Because honestly, when I want to paint or draw, last thing I want to do is like
you have to
clean that shit,
Yeah. No, I mean that's what I've been doing, and now that because I didn't understand what you were saying when you sent me the picture, but now now that you explained it to me, I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. That's actually a good idea, and apparently mine must be better. So, no, so I'm because I'm sitting here going, oops, bumping into the. I'm sitting here and it's like, oh man, this little wad of paint is already dried up, and not that to be honest, like I said, I mean, this is all Greek to me anyways, trying to figure this out, which is again, I think the biggest issue for me to figure out was, yeah, dude, you're not going to get anything done in one sitting. It's just keep doing it until it's finally done. You can't. I mean, it was funny. I was talking to Munshaw via the direct message, and I think it was about your post when you had finished the last project, and you were talking about you broke down like your hours.
Yeah, it was
on that
350 plus hours. Yeah,
it was like 3 hours a card, and Munshaw was like, "Holy smokes, man! How on earth could he spend that much time per card?"
Corona, baby.
And I gotta tell you, it was one of those things where I was like, I didn't do the math, but 3 hours didn't sound too bad to me.
Right?
I mean, it was like, well, shit, how quick do you get stuff done? Because, I mean, I'm slow, I'm awful. It's just, I'm a mess when I'm working on this stuff. But, it's like, oh, is it 3 hours per card? Is that long?
Well, considering the the flip side of it, maybe.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is that he basically said, dude, if I work 3 hours per card, my wife would not let me work on cards.
Yeah. I mean, I did mine at night, and I mean,
Oh yeah.
like I said, I mean, considering the whole COVID stuff, kind of like, what else are you gonna do, right? Just
Right.
sit on my thumbs, watch TV, or do that. So it's kind of, well, good
Well, yeah,
timing in that sense. Gave me
that
the
was the funny
opportunity.
thing was like everybody's freaking out about like the lockdown and all that stuff, and it's like you know how much the lockdown really affected artists.
There's
Not
more people in the house.
it was yeah it was the only thing the only way it affected artists because you don't leave your studio anyways. The only way it really affected any artist was well shit. I guess I have to now order all my supplies through Amazon.
Yeah,
You can't just pop into the neighborhood Michaels or Hobby Lobby or you know just
yeah,
pick up a thing. It's well okay, and of course knowing artists the way that artists know artists, we're all flakes anyways. So you're not gonna order anything until you're already out.
chill you out. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's not like there's no foresight.
it's like, yeah, I'm out of paint right now.
Right? Yeah, boy, I better run up to the Michaels. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of people were saying like, you couldn't get Copic refills because they sold them. I mean, all that stuff comes out of China.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually,
Like,
Coke might be Japan,
oh well, either way, all the
which is why they're good.
oh, okay. But either way, all the import stuff from Asia was not necessarily fully stopped, but halted, right? So there's no product coming in.
Well, I
So
mean,
once this,
yeah, it was all halted because everybody that was like shipping them out was sick.
yeah,
So, I mean, I know like my wife does a lot of she works for a company and they obviously build a lot of stuff overseas. So there's that has like seriously hurt that company's production and every company, think about it, every company is really you know kind of screwed because manufacturing is stopped, shipping is stopped, everything's stopped, and nobody's hitting their numbers. So
yeah,
the good news is that I think when it comes to like say Christmas shopping, might see some pretty sweet deals on Black Friday.
yeah, maybe. They never got any money left.
Nobody's got money because nobody's working,
Yeah.
and by then you might be getting some stock moving, but there's going to be incentives for hey, shop with us.
Oh, for sure.
So I mean that's getting in the weeds on something that is certainly not sketch card related.
Yeah.
But,
Try to keep the politics out of everything.
oh no, that wasn't a politics thing. That was
no, you know what I mean, like the current events and stuff like that.
I don't know.
It's kind of hard to avoid the subject. Though.
It's just everywhere. But
It's like a virus.
it is. It is. It's like a freaking like a plague. But anyways, so yeah, the did you get I know that there's another project that's out that's currently being worked on. Did you get tapped for that?
No, I did reach out and
or
couple
better
of
yet,
weeks.
let me rephrase that. Have you been tapped for any other upper deck sets?
No, I did reach out a couple of weeks ago and I said, hey, anything on the horizon? And dude replied and said, hey, let me see if I can get you on some sets because they have some stuff on the go.
Cool. Was that Ali?
Yep.
I don't. Sometimes he's a little. He's got to be busy because.
Oh yeah, I mean these guys are juggling a million things, right? It takes a while to get a response.
Yeah, well, that and I don't think any of those guys are even in the office.
Oh, well, yeah, that's probably true.
I mean, because I remember there was a set that I was working on, that was sent out, and because of the whole the goofy pandemic thing, um, they were having issues with shipping, and I think I had to like ship my cards to like somebody's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean it was like, and it was like
Oh,
right
nobody
in,
receiving.
it was right in the middle of the big hit on that,
Mhm.
and they were like, "Yeah, we're concerned about how shipping's going to go." So they basically emailed you like a new shipping label,
Oh,
and
well.
so you print it out, and
Well, that to me, when I finished the last set I did, and I finished the deadline, I sent the digital scans, and then I said, "Yeah, it's all sitting here ready in a box. I have no way of getting it to you guys because Staples is closed, right? There's no FedEx drop-off centers near me. The only ones are Staples, and they're
oh, okay.
currently closed. But luckily, they opened the following week, so uh, I got them in because they didn't include the plastic envelope in the package.
Oh,
So I couldn't.
that's what it was. It was the
Yeah, so I'm like, I have the labels, I have everything. I could technically drop it in a FedEx box because they're all over the place, but I don't have an envelope to put all the custom stuff in. And the only place I can get it is the Staples, and Staples is closed. So next time, please include an envelope.
yeah. Jonathan, our glorious leader, said that the new shipping address is his apartment. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, good to know. Thanks, buddy.
uh, ship everything there.
Yeah, sounds good. Just send over some shipping labels. We'll take care of it.
Yeah. Well, and the customs envelopes.
Yeah, make sure include the little plastic things. We wouldn't want to have an international incident in our
No,
hands.
no. Speaking of international incidents, any word on the jam piece?
Um, no, so I didn't get an update yet. Like, I mean, I'll check the mailbox when I get home to see
Right.
if it's there. But I would imagine they ought to get an update from like a mail update saying delivered.
Yeah,
Um,
when I read that, I thought I didn't read facility. I said I read it arrived.
oh, and just like, yay!
Yeah, so like apparently uh Canada has facilities.
Yeah, it's there's a little bit of territory that needs to be covered. But I did the same thing yesterday when I came in because I saw arrive and I started walking to the mailbox and then I read the rest of the email. I was like, oh,
Right,
like, oh, great. That's just so it could only be in one of like 5,000 miles.
Well, which is funny because you're like, yeah, dude, I saw it and I went to the mailbox, and I was waiting for a reply like all
Yeah.
night, going, well,
Oh, okay. I thought you had read the whole thing.
no follow up. Yep, on the way to the mailbox now.
Yeah.
And
Still not there.
radio silence.
Yeah. As soon as that comes in, I mean, I got another piece that I'm working on a commission. So I like to work on two things at a time
Oh yeah.
to balance things out. So I'm kind of,
While that's drying.
well, I just kind of, I'm not stuck on the same subject for too long.
Yeah.
Look, I'm doing Venom. Um, but yeah, as soon as that comes in, I'm gonna get started. We'll talk offline to see. Um,
I think that'll be fun when it's all done. That's gonna be pretty cool.
yeah, I don't know if I want to. Well, we'll discuss whether to show that kind of in progress or just bang out the last piece.
I would personally, I would just bang it out, and then turn around, like take pictures while you're doing it,
Yeah,
and
and just do a post.
bang a lot at once. As far as the announcement.
Yeah, that should be fun. Should get some buzz. But what are we on time? Okay, it's getting a little late for me. I'm
Yeah.
getting
Got to go
hungry.
check the mailbox.
Yeah, first I got to get my ass home.
Right.
That's an hour drive. And
What?
then
4?
an hour.
Oh, 1 hour. Okay.
Yeah, 1 hour. It's about like in miles, like 32 miles door to door.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's just traffic.
Yeah, because I can't till I get on the highway or freeway or whichever term. So actually, this time it might be quicker. But yeah, I mean, I'm
Oh,
not done with it. How are you? You're almost done? Hurry up.
no. I still got to figure out what I'm going to do with the background here. Put it all swampy and stuff. We may have to do a part 2 to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like episode, what is it? The MCC podcast, episode 50.5.
49C.
No.
Jonathan says he's literally going to take a bunch of 9 card pages together, and make blankets out of the sketches. That's just disrespectful.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
or a car cover or something.
Yeah, I don't believe that you're the destination, the new shipping destination after that comment.
All right. Well, I think
I'm just going to finish the hand. Give me a minute. I'm just excited about this palette thing working, that I haven't had to put paint down since I started.
that's awesome.
It's a game changer, dude.
Yeah, I certainly gotta look into that. That's for sure. Of course, I got to figure out what the hell I'm doing in the first place, but
Hey, you got this. I'm looking at what you're doing. You got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of getting it figured out, but it's I'll be honest with you, it is one of those things where well, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, 5 hours in the painting. You're like, this isn't even
like,
done.
Wait a minute.
Why is this taking so long?
Yeah, it's supposed to be done by now.
Yeah. It is a commitment for sure.
Well, that's the problem. Attention span as well. I mean, I'm getting to the point now where it's like I think that Thor may end up getting shelved because I got
No.
I know I'm not
Finish
going
it.
but it is one of those things where I'm like, oh, I got so many great ideas, of all the stuff that I kind of learned so far.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what would be sweet is if I did this, and now my head's there,
Yeah.
whereas I really want to work on that, but it's like I've got all this other stuff I got to do.
This is why I like to work on 2 things at a time, because I'm not stuck on one item.
Right.
You're probably in the same boat. I bet you if you go to a drawer, you can pull out a drawer of like a bunch of half-finished things, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it drives me nuts every time I see them. I'm just like, okay, I gotta really just start finishing things unless I abandon it because there's something wrong. Like if I totally nerfed it, then okay, fine, toss it.
Yeah.
But like there's all these things that I started that I want to finish. And I'm like, okay, I really gotta get this finished. So then that way, if I'm working on 2 things at a time, I don't get kind of fatigued of one.
Right.
Um,
No. I get it because I mean, you turn around, it's like, yeah, boring. Moving
yeah,
on.
I gotta work on this thing again, right? But
Right.
oh yeah, okay. I really need to put the brush down because I can't stop.
Yeah. Really need to get off of the line.
Yeah. Okay, man. Well, thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah. No.
Thanks everyone.
It was nice to have the guys come in and
Oh, that was awesome.
thing and stuff. So we gotta do this again. And I like the idea of doing that Norman was talking about, having the collector drink and draw thing.
Yeah, man.
That might be something where we can just like kick back and just moderate, not actually have to draw anything. Let everybody else do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, we need to figure out the logistics of that because I don't think we can do a live one. That might need to be a Zoom.
Yeah.
To get that many people. But yeah, we should definitely do this again. A couple of other people reached out saying that they'd be interested in doing it as well. So maybe we can do like 3-4 people.
That'd be awesome. Who reached out? Who?
I'll DM you.
Who?
We'll try it offline.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And
And see,
it'd be awesome to have like Gordon on. That guy.
yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
I've never met him really. Just.
But you've seen his work, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I love his stuff.
He's a beast on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, he posts a ton of stuff on TikTok, and he's getting really good engagement there. And he actually got me signed up. And I was like, oh man, I can't deal with another network.
Well, I can't do it because it's really just a Chinese spy app.
Oh, okay.
No.
Or there's that,
I'm
right?
I'm going all conspiracy theory. No,
Bitcoin.
yeah, no, I can't do it. I can't do it because my kid does it all the time, which is and somewhat irritating. But
Yeah, it's just too many networks. I mean, I'm Facebook, Instagram. I think that's about enough. I kind of started dabbling with Twitter, but it just sucks up so much time.
yeah, I'm like that. I'm like that old lady in that commercial. Oh, see all the pictures on my wall? It's like that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Okay,
All
cool.
right.
Well, this is as far as I got.
I think you know what. I think I'm gonna
Bring
finish
yours up.
offline, and then we'll do what we do with this thing, and figure it out.
Yeah. Jonathan says Chinese spy app, bro. How do you even still believe in China? I mean, it's still there, isn't it?
Well, if I don't, somebody's still screwing with Hong Kong.
Do you want to bring up your piece to the camera a bit? So
Oh yeah. Of course,
we can see what it is.
I actually
Are
tried.
you using medium?
What?
Are you mixing medium with your paint?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, it's so shiny.
I gessoed the.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, it's I gessoed it, and if for no other reason because like it's actually kind of shit board.
Okay.
And I just wanted something that would stabilize it.
Did you sand it?
No, I just went direct drive. It's like, dude, I was not gonna put that much effort into a live stream.
Okay.
But here's the flip side, and this is kind of the surprise to this, with it being like the triple panel. Let me see if I can. Okay, so you got the triple panel here, right? Yeah. I went and.
Oh, look at you. One of one. Dog. You're such an overachiever.
Yeah, well, I had to top
that's
you
awesome,
somehow. So
yeah.
that's that'll be a
Cool.
little bit of eye grab,
nice.
I suppose. That I did with marker. So
No, that's great, man. Okay. Well, thanks so much for hopping on. Thanks for everyone who tuned in to almost 2.5 hours of our ranting.
ridiculousness.
Yeah. So make sure to check out the Marvel Card Collectors podcast, episode 50, tomorrow morning on your favorite streaming platform. If you can't find it, you're not looking hard enough. And
just selling it.
Yeah, man. Show the love. That's it. You have any words of wisdom you'd like to part with? I think Jonathan's the only one still watching.
Yeah, probably.
Nothing for you, Jonathan. Cool.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, let's do this again, and see if we can get a couple more guys to pop in. I mean, it was nice that Ian and Norton came in. Norton.
Important. Yeah.
That was awesome. But yeah, let's see if we can get other guys. So
yeah, sounds good.
Get Munshaw in here. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him, or you reach out to him too. You might know him better than I do.
No, I don't know him, right? I know him about as well as I know you.
Oh, okay.
So which is like not at all. Just trading chats. Yeah, man, that's cool. So,
Um,
all right, brother.
Okay, man. Thanks so much. Catch you next time.
All right, later.